twice. We'll sing it twice in unison before going to the round. So you can choose to follow this side, which will come in first, or you can choose this side. Twice in unison.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here is one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near.
Our call to worship today is from Judge William Henry Hastie Jr. In 1937, he was the first African American to be appointed as a federal district court judge and also the first African American to be appointed as a federal appellate court judge. He said, "Democracy is a process, not a static condition. It is becoming rather than being. It can easily be lost, but never is fully won. Its essence is eternal struggle." So, I forgot to ask someone to light our chalice today. Do we have any volunteers? Oh, Karen will light our chalice today. Where's the clicker? Oh, there's the clicker. Okay, our chalice lighting words are in your order of service. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, for the light of truth, and for the energy of action. Oh no. Okay, this will be our stand-in chalice today. There you go. All right. Welcome to Unitarian Universalist Church of Ogden. We are a liberal, welcoming faith and a spiritual refuge for all, no matter how you identify or who you love. If you've just found this community, welcome, and please let us know that you are here. We have newcomer cards that you can fill out and then place in our offering basket during our offering section today. And this will help us connect you to all that this community has to offer. We do have activity baskets in the foyer for big and little hands that like to stay busy, and that we welcome everyone of all ages to our services. Okay, and we will now have our hymn number 67, We Sing Now Together. Today is our Good Trouble Sunday, where lost my train of thought. We invite speakers from our community who share our values to come and speak with us today. Our speaker today is no stranger to our community. It is Karen Thurber. She has been a longtime member of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ogden, 29 years. She spent her career working in community and economic development, retiring from Ogden Technical College. Since retirement, she has spent the last 12 years working to further the cause of democracy. She started working with Votarize, a nonprofit voter registration organization, which then transitioned into the League of Women Voters, where she is now the Vice President of Voter Services, coordinating education and registration events. Welcome, Karen.
I'll make sure that I have the technical stuff down. Okay, got that, got that, got that. And what am I missing here? So I've got share on the screen. Oh, I think I have to hit OK. All right. I can go ahead. I'm so pleased to address the members of this congregation along with visitors from the Weber County League of Women Voters, my sisters and brothers in the fight to defend our democracy. I am honored to serve as she said, the League as Vice President of Voter Services. And I've also been a member of this congregation for 29 years, amazingly enough. Are we up yet? Oh, there we go. Okay, outstanding. This beautiful song from Holly Near, and I invite you to go to YouTube and listen to her presentation of it. This was actually the theme of the 2023 Unitarian Universalist Association National Gathering, which my husband and I were honored to attend in Pittsburgh. It is deeply meaningful to me as a way to lift my spirits and keep me moving forward despite the daily outrages brought on by the current political climate. The line, "It dishonors those who came before us," speaks clearly to the responsibility we each have to honor our foremothers and fathers who sacrificed everything to reinforce our democracy. We owe it to our foremothers and generations who came to fight despair through action. We cannot afford hopelessness. It is not an option. It'll take every one of us to bring about the change that we need. Oop. What did I do wrong here? Okay. Okay, the little history lesson for you. Of course, the 19th Amendment was passed by the House and Senate in 1919. And in August 26, 1920, Tennessee became the final state to ratify the amendment, making it the law of the land. The fight for women's voting rights began before the Civil War, championed by the women who later lost their husbands, fathers, brothers, and sons in that most brutal of conflicts. These early suffragists believed that the women had the power to prevent and end wars. However, it was the devastation of World War I that spurred the widespread suffrage movement, not just in the US, but also in Europe. Our foremothers, some of whom were Unitarians, knew the time was right for women's power to become manifest. Utah was a significant player in the women's suffrage movement. It may surprise you to learn that the women of Utah had a lot to do with the passage of the 19th Amendment. In 1870, Utah women successfully won the right to vote. And mind you, I say won, not were granted, as if they just asked for it, please. No, they worked hard for that, becoming the only second state or territory to do so. It became one of the earliest states to ratify the 19th Amendment on September 30th, 1919. The League of Women Voters were officially founded in Chicago in 1920, and it was created by the women of the suffragists movement, our foremothers. Okay, it began with the merging of the National American Women's Suffrage Association and the National Council of Women Voters, the organizations at the forefront of the suffrage movement. The League began as a mighty political experiment designed to help 20 million women carry out their new responsibilities as voters. Although Black women were technically granted the right to vote in the 19th Amendment, it took until the 1965 Voting Rights Act to counter the ongoing voter discrimination and suppression experienced by Black women and men. The League has had nationally, locally, statewide, many, many key accomplishments, far more than I could possibly go over in the time allotted here. But some of the really important ones was just as the United Nations was founded, the League of Women Voters became a non-governmental organization observer to the UN. As I believe that is the first women's organization granted that privilege. The League of Women Voters has remained at the forefront of every major voting rights battle, including the 65 Voting Rights Act and the ongoing fight to pass the ERA. Okay, even more accomplishments. Though many of us older folks would remember that from 1960 through the late 80s, the League moderated the nationally televised presidential, primary, and general election debates. In 1976, the League won an Emmy for its outstanding achievement, moderating the 1975 presidential debate. As the candidates insisted on increasingly partisan conditions, the strictly nonpartisan League of Women Voters withdrew their sponsorship in 1988. Okay. Other major legislative victories: passage of the National Voter Registration Act in 1993, okay, and the Help America Vote Act in 2002. The League's grassroots campaign for national legislation to reform voter registration resulted in the National Voter Registration Act, also known, some of you may know, as the Motor Voter Act. It enables citizens to register to vote at motor vehicle agencies, as well as by mail and by other agencies that serve the public. When the 2000 election exposed many problems facing the election system, the League began work with a coalition of civil rights organizations to draft and pass the 2002 Help America Vote Act. That act established provisional balloting, requirements for updating voting systems, and the Election Assistance Commission. So what are we up to today? Okay. Pardon me. What will the next 100 years bring? The League of Women Voters is the nation's largest and most respected voting rights organization. The League now has more than 700 local leagues and 5 million members. It has evolved from a mighty political experiment to help newly enfranchised women vote in 1920 to the powerful nonpartisan force in molding political leaders, shaping public policy, and promoting informed civic participation. Since the 2004 election, the League has experienced vibrant growth on the local, state, and national levels. Our own Weber County League has doubled in size over the past year, attracting many new, younger members who bring skills, energy, and enthusiasm to our work. And I have to say, yesterday we held an emergency food drive, had 15 huge barrels filled, plus an additional estimated 2 pallets of food. And who came forward to help? A lot of people, but a lot of our members, but a lot of our younger members. And it was great. They brought their energy, their strength, their enthusiasm to that work. And it was very, very exciting to see. The National League, through, of course, democratic process, establishes initiatives and priorities to be undertaken by the national, state, and local leagues. The national provides significant support and materials, resources to help state and local leagues succeed. From the beginning, expanding voter access has been the league's primary focus. Vote 411 was initially established in 2006 and has become the nation's most trusted voting resource, reaching over 10 million voters in 2024. So we're anxiously awaiting the results from 2025 to see what happened there. State, regional, and local candidate forums are a staple of league activities. In Utah, over 200 forums were held this year, with Weber County conducting 24 forums, attracting more than 1,000 voters. Pretty amazing. Redistricting. It's on everybody's mind right now, especially following the historic vote last week in California to undertake mid-decade redistricting. The league has fought state by state to establish independent redistricting commissions, including in Utah. And we were successful at the passage of Proposition 4 in 2019. When the Utah legislature ignored the voters by rejecting the maps drawn by the commission, the Utah League, along with Mormon Women for Ethical Government and several voters, sued the state and wanted to have fair maps adopted for future elections. Just a few months ago, the Utah Supreme Court unanimously voted to uphold the plaintiff's case and ordered the state to adopt fair maps. The fight goes on. Money in politics. Okay, the corrosive impact of unlimited campaign contributions through political action committees, including dark, untraceable funding, has severely compromised our electoral process. The Supreme Court Citizen United ruling exacerbated this situation. The League continues to advocate and campaign for limits on individual PAC and corporate contributions, as well as campaign contribution transparency. Okay. Voter suppression. Voter suppression in Utah is alive and well. Hate to tell you, okay? The passing of House Bill 300 last year phases out automatic receipt of ballots by mail, requiring voters to opt in by 2028 to continue to receive a mail ballot. And voters will have to update every 8 years, which coincides with when you renew your driver's license. But a lot of people don't have driver's licenses, right? The Weber County Clerk Auditor, Ricky Hatch, who oversees elections, tells us that mail ballots have nearly doubled voter turnout, okay? More than 75% of Utahns support continuation of vote by mail. The League has determined that this is a form of voter suppression, meant to diminish the ability of rural, disabled, and elderly voters when required to travel sometimes great distances to cast a ballot in person. We are actively fighting to have this law reversed or significantly modified. Meanwhile, the legislature is considering proof of citizenship to register to vote, which would severely limit our ability to register voters. Voter registration education campaigns. In Weber County, we've registered over 3,000 voters after the last 5 years. Okay. These events were critical means of reaching voters, especially diverse citizens, at times and places convenient to them, such as farmers markets and community celebrations like Pride and Dia de los Muertos. They also give us the opportunity to educate voters about initiatives such as Vote 411, upcoming candidate forums, and our Renew, Unite, and Rise campaign. Okay. Okay. From the League of Women Voters, April 17th news release. From the flagrant disregard for congressional authority and governmental checks and balances to defying Supreme Court orders, one thing is abundantly clear: our country is in a constitutional crisis. Unite and Rise seeks to engage 8.5 million Americans to take action in opposition to this administration's policies and actions. Why 8.5? This number represents 3.5% of the nation's electorate. The percentage researchers find results in permanent political change, and that's around the world, okay? If this number seems too large, please remember that an estimated 7 million people attended the last No Kings rallies nationwide. So this is absolutely doable, okay? So what can individual Americans do? First of all, of course, vote, right? I'm preaching to the choir here, of course, choir, you know, but the problem is that in the 2024 election, approximately 1/3 of all registered voters, we're not talking people who aren't registered voters essentially sat it out. And we believe that led to the constitutional crisis we're in today. Our local elections earlier this week were extremely encouraging. with the highest turnout for municipal elections in more than 20 years in Weber County. Many new energetic candidates won, turning out entrenched incumbents. Also, more than 25 women ran for office in Weber County this year, with 16 winning. Royce City and Ogden Valley City both have female mayors, and the majority of their city councils are female. I know, pretty amazing, pretty wonderful. Second, of course, get involved. Visit the Unite and Rise website. During coffee hour, I have postcards for you with QR codes, super easy to do, okay? And commit to one of the to a broad range of activities involving numerous league partners. You can write postcards, send texts, make calls, emails, write letters, attend events, whatever floats your boat. There's something for everybody in every situation that can get involved. Third, join us. The League is growing rapidly as citizens recognize the power and connections it brings to the fight. We have hundreds of partners working together to bring about change. Okay. So again, going back to Holly Near's song, that almost always makes me want to cry. Okay. We cannot afford to be hopeless. Okay. Let's do this to honor our parents, our grandparents, and those brave souls over the past decades and centuries who risked everything to give us a democracy we can truly be for the people. And I'm going to ask Tom, what was the quote on your photograph about ancestors? Can you tell us? It's your job to be a good ancestor. I didn't add that to here, but he told me that last night, and I've got to go with that. So thank you, everyone, for your time, for being here. And we're not taking questions. I will be after the service in the coffee hour. I have as much time as you possibly need, and I have some good handouts, including, of course, the Unite and Rise information, also information about how you can join the League. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karen. We appreciate your time and your energy and your service for both our community and for Weber County as a whole. Thinking about your words today reminds me of my very sturdy Mormon pioneer foremothers. My father's family that came across the plains and settled in southern Idaho and northern Utah. And I think of those survivor women, tough. They had been tough broads to survive those conditions and raise those children, but be able to seize, to gain power and to gain their rights to vote and such before so many more of their sisters around the country. They were good ancestors, and I hope to carry on their legacy today. So thinking of what we've learned, please think of one thing that you heard today that you can carry with you moving forward. Our prayer today is for democracy. Spirit of life, God of all justice, we gather in reverence for the sacred trust of democracy. May we be granted the wisdom to listen deeply to diverse voices, the courage to uphold fairness and equity for all, and the humility to accept the responsibilities of our freedom. Inspire us to protect the rights of the marginalized, to engage in civil discourse, and to cast our ballots as acts of conscience and love. May our democracy be a true reflection of our shared Unitarian Universalist values, a path forward to a more just, compassionate, and beloved community. May it be so. Now we'd like to invite you all to participate in our weekly ritual of candles and stones. You're invited to come forward and to light a candle of hope and to drop a stone of worry or burden or care. Please come forward. We would now like to pass along our offering in support of the work of our beloved community. There's some volunteers. Pass the baskets. Very good. Karen's doing lots of heavy lifting today. Okay, and if we could all please stand and turn towards the center aisle, we will sing the offering words printed in your order of service. We thank you for your generous offer and gifts to this community, and we promise to use these resources wisely. Thank you. Please be seated. All right. Announcements. Do we have any announcements? No. Oh, okay. Good to know. All right. Karen will be, you have Joseph as an announcement. Okay, come on, Joseph.
So, I know some of you came to a previous concert. I'm part of a community choir called Salt Lake Vocal Artists, and we have an upcoming concert, and it will be on the 15th, this coming Saturday, at 7:30, and we're doing. I'll just read to you what it says here: a concert of beloved choral works that explore stillness, faith, and the quiet power of music, featuring a program of audience and choir member favorites that echo themes of peace, courage, and faith. And so that is at St. Ambrose down in Salt Lake City. And you can get tickets on the Salt Lake Choral Artists website. It's this Saturday, November 15th. So some of you have been there before to a previous concert. Anyway, I invite you all. The music is really great and beautiful. So you're all invited.
If you will send that information, Joseph, we can put it in the newsletter.
There's a long-standing tradition in our church, and due to Brent and his croquet tournament. Now, in the past, it's been a fundraiser and you had to pay to go. This year, it's at my house and it's free. Today at 2:00, it begins, and it's a barbecue and croquet party. There are rules about croquet, and the host gets to make up the rules. So there's no wiggly wickets this year. That means you can't move the wicket in front of your ball or behind it. The rules are as follows. You have to do what I tell you to do. That's number one. And number two, well, actually, number one is when you start, you have to get a croquet mallet. You can bring your own or use one of ours. We have a lot of them. And 2 balls, One is a croquet ball and one is a golf ball. So this is a croquet golf tournament.
Thank you,
Uh,
Susan. We gotta get going.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't have any time for more. We gotta finish the survey.
oh, anyway, come at 2:00, BYOB. My husband is making barbecue ribs. They're really good. Now, I need, how many of you think you are gonna come today? Raise your hand.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. We can do that afterwards.
all right, I'm done.
Okay, yeah. During, you can get a head count during fellowship hour.
Right by each tricycle, and it's a killer.
We are now gonna move on to our closing hymn, 1028, Fire of Commitment. And that's gonna be in the teal hymnal. Yeah. Or the skinny one for those of you who are colorblind. Yeah. 1028. As the Unitarian Universalist version of the Battle Hymn of the Republic. Okay, could you please join me in extinguishing our chalice by repeating the chalice extinguishing words in our order of service? We extinguish this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action. I'll do both of those today. I'd like to close our service today with a poem by author and poet Amy Nez Kumatato, who is a wonderful writer. She gets a lot of her inspiration from the natural world. She actually visited Weber a couple months ago, and I got to go to a workshop she led. Very neat lady. And this was inspired by the story of Henry T. Byrne, who cast the deciding vote to ratify the 19th Amendment after receiving a letter from his mother. And it says, "My parents are from countries where mangoes grow wild and bold, and eagles cry the sky in arcs and dips. America loved this bird too, and made it clutch olives and arrows. Some think if an eaglet falls, the mother will swoop down to catch it. It won't. The eagle must fly on its own accord by first testing the air slide over each pin feather. Even in a letter of wind, a mother holds so much power. And after the pipping of the egg, after the branching, an eagle is on its own, must make the choice on its own, no matter what it has been taught. Some forget that pound for pound, eagle feathers are stronger than an airplane wing. And even one letter, one vote can make the difference for every bright thing." Thank you.